She's a diamond. She's a diamond girl. She's a diamond. Diamond, diamond, diamond.
Hi YouTube, it's Princess Diamond. Welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be doing some boho tribal braids, so some half and half braids. We'll have some feeding braids in the front and some knotless boho braids in the back, and I'll be giving you guys all of the details, so just make sure to keep on watching. The company that we'll be working with, as you guys can see, is HOTBRAIDS. They sent me a nice little gift in addition to the hair that I'll be using, and the hair that I'm using is their Bohemian Curl loose braid texture. This hair is 100% human hair and it is 20 inches. I do have two bundles, as you can see. Each bundle has like two bundles within it. Altogether, this is 200 grams. So each individual bundle is 50 grams. And I'm just showing you guys the curl pattern or the curl texture, just so you guys can see. I am doing a water dip test to see how the curl will hold up if I was to dip these in hot water at the end. We want to make sure that it does not mess up the curl. And as you guys can see, once I dipped it, I kind of just scrunched it up to try to preserve the curls, and it held up pretty fine. So I'm starting out with just sectioning out my client's hair from ear to ear. I like to start out with parting from ear to ear because it gives me a guide of how many parts or how many rows I will be doing. This is basically like my mapping. Typically for styles like these, when I part from ear to ear, I will do 3 rows within this bottom section. So from her ears down, I'm doing 3 rows going straight across. And then I believe on top of these 3 rows, so from her ears up, I did an additional 5 rows going across. So altogether in the back section for all of the knotless braids that I did in the back section, we had 8 rows of braids. And for the product that I'm using to clean up my parts and while I'm braiding, this time I'm just using the Shine and Jam, and I believe it's the Shine and Jam in the red container, and I may have also used the Shine and Jam in the orange container as well. So for this very first row that I'm doing, I did start out with doing 4 knotless braids in this first bottom row, and then every row above that I just began to brick part going up. So if you want to use this as a guide to get kind of a similar braid size, again, the very first row was 4 braids, and then above that it would be 5 braids because we're brick layering it, and then above that would probably be 6 rows, and then you just continue to brick layer going up. Like I said, I did do 8 rows total in this back section. So right now I'm just starting out with just doing some regular knotless braids. For my knotless braids, usually I add in 5 pieces of the braiding hair. And for the braiding hair, I'm going to insert a picture right here because from the top of my head right now, cannot remember what braiding hair that we used. But I do know that the braiding hair I used was super long, so I ended up cutting it a little bit and going back old school. I ended up stretching out the hair myself because it was just so long. In this first row, I am starting to add in the curly hair pieces, and I'm just adding them. I'm adding in 3 curly pieces just in this first row. So 3 curly pieces within the braid, and then I will add in a curly piece at the very ends of these because we want the end of the braids to be curly as well. We don't want the ends of the braids to just be bone straight braids. So I'm adding another curly piece at the very ends of these. So altogether on just this first braid alone, we do have 4 pieces of the human hair curly hair that is being added. To seal the ends of these, I did just knot it, so I didn't add any glue or anything, just knotted it. And then since the human hair do have blunt cut ends, it helps to braid with the Shine and Jam to kind of try to lay those blunt ends down or try to tuck them, but they can still be pretty stubborn, so I just usually use scissors to snip whatever is sticking out. So that was that first braid, and you guys can see the 3 strands or the 3 pieces that I used. As I kind of went up higher, I began adding like an additional piece of the human hair curl. So this is now my 8th row and my final braid for the knotless braids that I'm doing in the back. And in this section, I did add a total of 5 curly hair pieces and then 1 curly piece at the very end. As you guys can see, I'm finishing off that end right there. And then I'm going to show you guys the 5 pieces that's within the braid and then 1 piece at the very end. So altogether on this braid there were 6 curly hair pieces that's being added. And now we are in the front where we are doing the feed in portion. Now for the front on these side braids right here, I did only add in 3 pieces of human hair curls, just like how I did in the very first row, and then 1 piece on the very end. But then when I did the rest of the braids that's falling back, I added in, I believe, the 5 pieces with the 1 piece at the very end. And now I'm just doing a few different designs and styles and feed-in braids. The hair that I was using from HOTBRAIDS was very soft, very fluffy and full. I did try to use as much as the hair as possible just to get a fuller look, because I knew that we would be dipping these in hot water. However, you guys will see what the style looks like prior to even dipping it in hot water, because it's very full and it's very beautiful. It does not even need to be dipped. I like to dip it in hot water because it does kind of loosen up the braid. And when I say loosen, I mean to where the braid itself is not stiff and just sticking straight up. So that's why I like to dip it in hot water. But if you don't want to dip yours in hot water, you don't have to. Again, you guys will see what the final result looks like prior to it getting wet. And if you wanted to just steam the hair, that's another option to avoid having to dip everything in hot water. Steaming the hair will also kind of try to help the braid to lay down, but not fully submerge the curls in hot water if you wanted to preserve the curls a little bit more, because it was so pretty. And it was still very nice and pretty even after it was dipped in hot water, but obviously there is going to be a difference after it's dipped in hot water. So for the human hair curls, we used almost everything because, like I said, I try to make it as full as possible. So like I had told you guys, I had 2 bundles, but each bundle had 2 bundles within it. So it was 200 grams of hair total. And the hair that you're seeing on the table right there is 1 bundle, like 50 grams of hair that was left over, that we didn't finish. I'm still using that hair that's on the table. That was the last bundle that was left over. So we practically used almost everything. So I'm going to allow you guys now to just watch as I'm just doing a couple feed-in braids here in the front, and then I'll come back and you guys will be able to see again the final result prior to it being dipped in hot water, as well as once it's dipped in hot water, and then we'll style it a few times and show you everything. All right, so right here, the style has not been dipped in hot water, so you can see how bouncy and pretty and full these curls are. Absolutely love it. So like I was saying earlier, if you didn't want to dip these in water, you definitely don't have to. Like, you can obviously see it looks so nice right here, but obviously I wanted to dip the hair in hot water, but I wanted to show you guys what it looked like in case you don't want to do that. And if you're interested in this hair, the link to it will be down in the description below. All the details will be down in the description below. And now I'm going to dip them in hot water and you guys will see the final result of it, so just keep on watching. So this is it once it has now been fully dipped in hot water and the hair is still nice and curly. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think. Leave some comments down below. If you guys have any questions or anything that I didn't elaborate on in the video, feel free to ask me down in the comments below. The link to this hair will also be down in the description for you guys to check out. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. I'm gonna style this a couple times for you guys to see. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and as always, I hope you guys be blessed, stay protected, and stay filled with love and peace.